Well, hello again. Several of you have been clamoring for an update on the Thunderbird. I told you in the last radio video that I would be off the YouTube for quite a while because I had so much stuff to do. Straightening up the garage, working in the yard. Had to get it all done before winter. I'm still a little bit behind, but I'm working at it. Anyway, meanwhile, I went ahead and tested the evaporator. We plugged each line, and I'll show you how that's done because right now I got it hooked up to the condenser. I plugged each line, one that would hook the Mighty Vac vacuum pump to, and the other one I just plugged it, period. And let me see, I think I can show you what I plugged it with. I think I got it here somewhere. Yeah, what I did was I just put together, I went to my hardware store and I talked to my good buddy down here and I said, hey look, here's what I got to do. And we went through a whole bunch of stuff and everything. The only thing we could do on this was to take it off the old hose. I took it off the old hose, put a bolt down in there, and then JB welded it around the bolt before I put it in. And that gave me a way to plug it off, okay, because I wasn't going to use this anymore anyway, because the old hose was pretty well bad. It broke right off. And we stuck it in there, and that clogged up that line. The other end, we used a combination of whatever we had to hook it, to get this one plugged. I guess this big one actually went over here. I'm not sure which end it goes, but you know, you just got to figure it out for yourself. And then when we got all done, we had a hose sticking out that we could hook to the Mighty Vac pump, and I'll show you that in a minute. And we pumped it up. I took it up to 16 pounds, and it held for an hour and a half. So as far as we're concerned, and I say we, Brendan and I, it's good. It held an hour and a half, 16, exactly 16 on the button. Now let's take a look at what I just finished doing on the condenser. Now this is the same setup I used on the evaporator, and it was a combination of whatever they had at the hardware store. I didn't care. A plastic, and then a metal, and then another brass fitting here, and then I used an air compressor chuck attachment to hook the hose to. whatever we came up with. Then I JB welded all around to make sure I had no leak there. On the other end today, I went down and I had, this is the original fitting. I shined it up on my wire wheel on my bench grinder. This is the original thing. All I had to do was screw that back on with some Teflon tape, and just to make sure. Now there's a rubber O-ring around there too. And then I went back today and we came out with a pipe cap from a regular old cast iron pipe. So whatever we had to do to seal it. And then I have the pipe, this line came out of that chuck, air chuck thing, and it hooks right onto my Mighty Vac. And I just pumped it up to 21 pounds, which is where it's still sitting. Still sitting there, pretty close to 21 anyway. And I'll be back in about an hour and see if that still sits right about there. Before I go into the house, I wanted to show you what else I was doing in addition to the yard and straightening things up. The entire corner now is completely clean. That's the Thunderbird hood. That wooden table I had, I tore it down to give myself more room. The gray metal desk I had in the electronics shop, I tore that all down, took the metal over to the metal yard and saved the top. This is the top to it. Nice, big, heavy, thick thing. And I just set it on my roll-around whatever table, and it sits right there. So we're getting ready to work on the back side of the dash here pretty soon. But I got tons of room, got rid of, oh God, I guess I got rid of 8 or 10 30-gallon garbage bags of stuff. And I probably got 2 or 3 more 30-gallon bags I could get rid of. But for the most part, got rid of it all. The bumper and the grill is now suspended from the beam at the top, and so is the bumper. Gets it out of my way, and it'll just sit there so the mud wasps can make a nest. Pretty cool, huh? They're just tied up, that's all. I'll get them down when the time comes. And where did all the parts go? All the car parts are piled up over here. I'll show you. The car parts are now located in what used to be the electronics shop. I bought some 5-tier storage racks. They're 2 feet deep, which I really like that. You know, I didn't like this. The old one was kind of narrow. You can see it right here. It was just too narrow for some of the stuff I needed. But I put one there, and I put another one over here. So all the car parts now are where they're supposed to be, all laying and ready to go. And I like the fact that it's up high. The legs are up high, and the way when I put it together. By the way, these racks were a snap to put together. It took me about 30 minutes a rack to put the whole thing together. I bought those 2. And so everything's out of the way. The desk is gone. This will be our next project, what's underneath here, after I get done with the one I'm working on now. And I got a couple more things to straighten up on that table over there, but that's about it. And one more thing. You'll probably notice my throat's all kind of weird sounding right now. I've been working in the yard for about a week, and something's been digging in. I think we've had armadillos around here digging up every night. They're down here digging things up, trying to get to the grubs and whatnot. I come out 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes to walk the dog, and here he is, wandering all over the place. And plus we got squirrels. I'm going to have to fill that in today. But we had a couple of real bad storms here that blew through, and it just emptied billions of tree limbs on the ground, and the water came rushing across here. The door seal was bad, and the old door seal had, you could see light through the bottom. It just let the water run in there. We wound up with about 1.5 inches of water again, so I went out and bought a brand new seal. This time I bought a good expensive one, and my grandson and I, we put it in there the other day. So if it rains again, we may get a little seepage, but nothing like it was. I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. On the inside it has a brush that goes down. It says, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's a hairy brush. It's supposed to help keep the water out too. So I don't know. Let me zoom in. You can't see much. I don't have much light over in this area. But the problem with this, my door was very thin, and the aluminum track on the new seal was very wide. So my grandson and I had to figure out a way to solve that. But it looks real good now. No problem at all. And I'll probably have to do it to the other door, but that one there is more, the cement on the outside is more of a slant. This one was kind of coming in. So hopefully that'll keep us from flooding, and even if it does, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hit anything. I got everything up off the floor. It was just brought in a bunch of mud, that's all. But it's cleaned up now. Well, after 1.5 hours, actually more than 1.5 hours, I had to walk the dogs toward the end there, and it's still holding very good. So we're in good shape. That's how you test both the condenser in the front of the car. You hook it up the same way. You know, you just got to mix and match different brass and plastic and pipe, thread, whatever it takes to. As a matter of fact, I think. Let me look over here. It's just whatever it takes. You'll go down and find your local hardware store guy. And this here is a pipe thread thing too that I put on there. And then I hook the PVC to it, and then put some JB Weld around there, JB Quick. You know, whatever it takes, you know, to get a good seal. That's all you got to do. What I'm going to do now is just leave this connected all like this. It'll keep any dirt from getting up in there, and I'm going to leave this on there like that, keep any dirt or bugs going up in there also. So we'll just leave it like it is, in good shape. Until next time, this is John.